So Discord recently announced that they're going to be requiring users to verify their ages to access certain Discord features. Basically, they age restrict your account by default unless you scan your face or your ID. This naturally sparked a massive controversy on the internet. They claim that these IDs and facial scans will be deleted immediately after the process is completed, and that data is not associated with your account in any way. If you weren't living under a rock, then you'd know that Discord was already required to do age verification in the UK, and about 5 months ago, Discord was breached by hackers that managed to gain access to over 70,000 government IDs, payment information, and 2 million age verification pictures. This controversy led to some hilarious solutions that people try to come up with, like this, and fucking this. Anyways, I also looked through their policies and I saw some sketchy wording which can contradict their statement. Here it says, "In limited circumstances, we may have a legal obligation to retain certain information, even if you delete the information from your account." The limited circumstances is extremely vague. It covers such a broad amount of circumstances that it is completely unknown what causes them to retain the data, only that they can. Also, personal information is retained until no longer needed for the purposes it was collected for or for legal compliance. Basically what they're saying here is that there are no fixed and defined periods for data retention, and it is up to basically their own personal determination for when this data should be deleted. They also love using the phrase "in most cases," which is a pretty vague statement hinting at other exceptions which they haven't revealed. And them saying "in most cases" lets them avoid explaining those exceptions. It's some really sketchy legal wording, and it's pretty predatory in my opinion. With these privacy concerns, coupled with Discord just generally being fucking ass at everything, like for example file size limits being capped at a measly 10 megabytes and 100 megabytes, which is still fucking nothing, being locked behind a $10 monthly paywall. The greed is fucking insane. Their greed sickens me. You also can't screen share at anything past 720p if you don't pay Discord $10 a month. The greed. What if I told you that it is incredibly easy to self-host your own version of Discord, free from a Big Brother-esque entity spying on everything you say, free from stupid file size limitations and restrictions behind paywalls, free from everything, because when you own the server, it is truly yours. I know in this day and age of you will own nothing and be happy, owning and having control over something is a completely fucking foreign concept to a lot of you, but let me be the first to tell you that it's really doable and you can finally own something. Meet Matrix. No, not the movie, I mean this. Matrix is a fully free and open source alternative to Discord, which allows you to self-host your own servers. Open source allows us to inspect all the source code to see exactly what it's doing, and if it's doing anything predatory, which it's not. It's a fully decentralized and transparent model, and it works in a similar way to email. Basically, different Matrix servers self-hosted by different people can talk to one another. It's truly amazing, and today we're joining that list of servers. Matrix supports screen share, chat, voice, and even video call.
I think that is real.
Guys, that's what they're trading.
Trade what?
All those videos.
We have to do something, and we have to do it now.
Who's that?
Here's your quick start guide to ditching Discord and leaving it in the fucking past like it should have been left years ago. There are multiple ways to self-host your own Matrix server, which I will get into. You can port forward your public IP address and use something like a Raspberry Pi 4 or 5 to actually host the server on, but this exposes your IP to the internet, which we want to avoid. You could use something like Tailscale or WireGuard if you're making a server like solely for your friends, which avoids exposing your IP. For tutorial's sake, first we're just going to cover the default matrix.org method, which is basically the simplest and most user-friendly method. It's free, but it's also limited in a lot of ways. I would not recommend this method, and here's why. Basically, you're subject to these terms of service. They also have access to your IP address, some room information, when messages are being sent, and like a little bit more data. So if you care about keeping that private, skip to the next section where we truly own everything. Time listed on screen. The very best method for your privacy is to either buy a virtual private server with a cryptocurrency and then register a domain and create DNS records that point to that VPS. Doing this will allow you to set file size limits and screen share limits and basically do whatever the fuck you want. It's gonna be truly yours and you won't be subject to any terms of service or like external rules. To keep this first section simple for most people, I'm just covering the normie account creation with matrix.org. This will work for most people as it's already miles more private than Discord, despite all the things that I mentioned earlier. So go over to matrix.org and click Try Matrix. Here are various installation instructions for essentially every operating system, including mobile devices. It's gonna have you install Element, which is the client. There are also other clients, since Matrix is open source and many people have made different clients, including ones that work on the fucking 3DS. I'll be going over Element since it's the most popular one and it's pretty similar to Discord in how it looks. I'll be covering this tutorial for Windows since most of you watching this video are probably all swollen pantied and fucking riled up from seeing the news on Twitter, and you're on Windows and you're trying to escape Discord. So basically all you do is install Element and register an account using matrix.org. This email is not required, so if you don't want to use it for privacy reasons then you don't have to. You'll just have to manually save your encryption keys for password recovery. Once you have an account you just sign into it on Element and boom, here it is, the better fucking Discord. As long as you're not a 14-year-old teenage girl, I wouldn't imagine that you'd get too upset about stuff like not being able to decorate your fucking profile with cosmetics that cost real money and nitro to use. You can make your own servers, which are called rooms, or you can join others. Basically, all the features Discord has are here, aside from like the cute and kawaii profile customizations and stuff like custom stickers for servers, which I honestly can care less about. I care about my privacy, not the fucking aesthetic and cuteness of my fucking server. If this is a deal breaker for you, then I don't know what to tell you. Just sit in it. Sit in it. Sit in the chair. And since I care deeply about my privacy, I do not recommend using matrix.org to make an account for Element. You can always use a VPN and avoid using an email when creating an account, but who the hell needs all that noise? I would rather be the mastermind behind all of my data. That is where a VPS and domain comes in. What you need is a VPS and a registered domain. If you have those two things, then you can basically self-host this entire thing. If you're fine with the first free option, then you can stop watching. And go sit in that fucking chair, man, cause you're a fuck. Basically, what we're actually doing here is hosting our own Matrix home server, which is the backend that stores accounts and messages, and we're also hosting the Element web client. The reason we're doing this is because we want to be literally the only fucking soul on the planet that can access any of this data. To achieve this, we're going to use Docker and Caddy for automatic TLS certificates, and Conduit, which is basically a lightweight Matrix home server written in Rust. No, not that Rust. This Rust, you fucking hooligan, pay attention. To anybody who hates using Docker, I'm very sorry. Anyways, a prerequisite to this is having a VPS and an already registered domain, which I have both. You have to go to the DNS records of your domain. This is different for every service, which allows you to host domains. I just did a quick throwaway domain, like real quick with HostGator just for this video, and then I went into the zone editor and added 2 A records. Depending on how you're hosting your domain, this is going to be different for everybody, so just do your own research into how to access this shit. Basically, you make one A record for matrix dot and then the name of your domain, and then one for element dot and then your domain name. And then you should point these to the VPS's IP. You can verify it works by using NSLookup on it or just trying to ping it. This is also possible with just using your public IP address instead of the VPS IP address if you're okay with exposing it to the internet. But you would have to open ports 443 and 80 in the admin control panel for your router, and I do not recommend exposing your IP to the internet like this. Anyways, if you're using an Ubuntu or Debian VPS, lock it down with UFW as the firewall if it's not pre-installed already. Then open ports 80 and 443 using these commands. Then in the server, install Docker by using apt, and then just type in this command. After all of that, you create a project folder and name it fucking whatever. Not literally whatever, just name it like, you know, whatever you want. You're gonna create 4 files here. I got most of the contents of this file from GitHub, which will be linked in the description. but I will also link a paste bin in the description if anybody is too lazy to sift through a GitHub repo and just wants to literally copy and paste everything as quickly as possible. Create those 4 files, and wherever it says your domain here in all caps inside of brackets, paste your domain in there. Then it's as simple as typing docker compose up-d and going to element.your domain name and making an account. You'll know it's working when it says matrix dot and then your fucking domain name. After you make an account, you make sure you lock that shit up because you don't want other people making accounts using your shit. So you lock that shit down by going into the conduit.toml file and setting allow registration to false. You can set it back up to true temporarily if you want friends to register using your domain. You can now create rooms and join servers on a completely self-hosted account. It's kind of similar to emails where some people have Gmails, some people have proton.me, and some people self-host their own. It's the same exact fucking concept, but Discord azized. You'll also notice that everything is much snappier and much faster and much smoother than if we just used matrix.org. This is because you're the only motherfucker using this domain, so you don't have to be worried about being slowed down by anyone else's traffic, and you're gonna have fast, fucking smooth as butter shit all the time, as long as you didn't pay for like the world's cheapest fucking VPS with like 3 kilobytes of memory. There you have it. Your fully open source, private, self-hosted Discord, and now you're free of Discord surveillance, and you don't need to send your ID to Discord. And depending on what VPS and domain registration you used, it might actually be cheaper than the amount of money you would spend on Nitro. If you're poor, just beg your friend to host it for you and create an account using his domain. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like the video, comment the video, fucking hype the video, become a channel member if you want to support the channel. Thank you to our current members. Your contributions to the channel help me continue my nicotine addiction. If you have any questions, email me at my business email. And until then, I'll see you. Thank you.